All right, how you guys doing today? Welcome back to the shop, and I am Kraken, and we are at the Liberty Woodwork shop out here in Weatherford, Texas. We are waiting for this piece right here to dry, and so since that's my major project, we're starting on something else. And so what we've done here, set this down. We're gonna have to adjust this a little bit. And what we've done here is we bought a long time ago, I bought a slab of pecan. And when I went in and I talked to my guy about the pecan, I wanted it for cutting boards. And, I explained to him that, if he didn't have anything to work for me with cutting boards, I could probably use it on something else, but it needed to be in fairly decent condition. Well, he had a slab of pecan, and it wasn't in the greatest condition. There was quite a bit of problems with it, and so he essentially just gave it to me. Now he charged me a little bit for it, like $20. It was a really good big slab, but I knew that there was going to be a lot wrong with it, and I was able to use some of it for cutting boards, but a good part of it just wasn't any good for that. And so it had a lot of wormholes in it. If you look at it. This is that pecan, right? And so you can't use that on a cutting board, right? This is a pretty bad section of that wood that you see that it was in bad shape, right? And it's been sitting around my shop for months because I've been doing cutting boards, cheese boards, charcuterie boards, stuff like that. I can't use this for that. This is another part of it that's just ate up really bad, right? And so anyway, what we did is we decided to use this for another project. And so what we're going to do is we cut this down into 3/4 by 3/4. Some of it fell apart as we were cutting it down, and then we cut a 30-degree bevel on here. Now then, what we did after the 30-degree bevel is from the short point to the short point, we measured out 3 inches. And so what we're going to do is we're going to set this up here on that 3-inch line, just like that. And it doesn't matter, you can make it larger, you can make it smaller, whatever works for you, whatever you kind of like. I like 3 inches, so we're going to do 3 inches. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set up a stop block right here so that we can do repetitive cuts. And I don't know how much we're going to get out of this, right? I just cut all of the damaged pecan down that I had, and we're going to get as much as we can get out of it. And so we made this cut this way, and then we flip the board this way, and we're making another cut. And I ain't gonna make a cut with that block there because it's too tall. So we're gonna set it back down like so. And that ain't gonna work. So let me back this up. You open my fence up here. Now let's get this on here. Make sure you hold this thing in place. Lord, it's just not cooperating with me today. Let's lock this down. We're going to use this section of the fence right here. Like I said, I chose 3 inches because I just kind of liked the 3-inch. You could choose 4 inches, 2.5, whatever you want. We're going to make repetitive cuts, and we're going to cut all this down the same way. Alright, first mistake right off the bat. When you're pressing pressure against a stop block, don't raise it back up, let it shop, or it'll shoot out like that. You don't want that to happen. So flip it around. Alright. Flip it around. Flip it around. we're just going to keep doing that. We're making these cuts just like this, okay? We're going to pause the video because I got a lot to cut down, and I'm trying to keep my videos shorter. We'll be back when we're done cutting. All right, we're back. We cut 5 or 6 strips down into these 3-inch, 2.5-inch, whatever it was they came out to. 3-inch from short point to short point, 30-degree angle, 3/4 inch stock. We had cut this pecan down to 3/4 inch by 3/4 inch. You could use 1 inch by 1 inch. You could use, you know, 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches if you wanted to. You just kind of have to adjust the length accordingly. And what we're going to do with this, you need 24 of these. And if I counted right, I've got enough of this to make 4 of these. All right, but you only need 24. So we're going to kind of push all this out of the way. And then what we're going to do with this now is we're going to set these up like so. And what this is going to do, you're going to get us a little dab of glue. And normally I don't use brad nails when I'm working with hardwood, but we're going to use brad nails. And you don't need a lot of glue. You don't want a lot of squeeze out. We're gonna use a little bit here and spread it around. And what you want to do is you want to join these so that your beveled cuts overlap like so, okay? And then what we're going to do, and hopefully this doesn't split the wood, we're going to pop a brad in it. There we go, just like so. And then you'll do the same thing here with your bevels facing away from you. You're just going to put a little dab of glue, and when I mean a little dab of glue, I just mean a little dab of glue. You do not need much. You get too much and you're going to get a bunch of squeeze out. And if you get a bunch of squeeze out, then you've got to come back later and you've got to clean that stuff up. And you don't want to have to clean all that stuff up. So just enough glue to hold it when it dries. Make sure that you're flush. And then we're going to pop a brad in it. And I really don't like using brad nails on hardwood, but you know, it is what it is. All right, away from you. Just a little bit of glue. Just a little drop. It doesn't take much. And if you do see any squeeze out, just grab you a paper towel or something and clean it off as you go. Try not to let it dry on there. On the outside, you can hit it with a sander. You'll be good. But on the inside, all right. Just kind of spread that around. And then, like I said, just make sure that it's on there flush. If it's not on there flush, you're going to have an alignment issue. And when you're done, this is what you should have. Just like that. Okay? And we're going to keep doing that all the way around with the next layer. I need to change this air chuck. It leaks, and that is a real annoyance to me because I've turned the air compressor off as I don't want it kicking on in the middle of doing this. We're not going to finish this tonight for a couple of reasons. One, because I have to work tomorrow, and it's already 9 o'clock at night, and I ought to already be wrapping this up and getting ready to go in the house, take a shower, and get ready for work in the morning. The second reason is because what we're building right here is a lamp, and I don't have the cord for the lamp, and I don't have the bulbs for the lamp. So I need to pick those up tomorrow, or order them and have them shipped in, one or the other. But we'll finish the video whenever I get those. And the other reason is because this is essentially a side project. Right? This is a project that I'm doing while I'm waiting for the glue to dry on the project that I'm actually working on. Alright. So our second layer is finished. And this is Pecan that I'm working with right here. It was a slab that was in really bad condition. And I got enough to make maybe 2 cutting boards out of it, and the rest of it was like this. It was pretty bad, and I've used a little bit of it in a few other projects here and there, but it's just really been sitting over here in the corner because I was waiting for the right project to work with it. Now that we have our first couple of layers on, the rest of this will go a little bit faster. Okay, and you just keep on and build this same pattern all the way up. When we come back and work on it the next time, we will build the base. I know that a lot of people use this descriptive term for rustic anytime they build something, and And unfortunately, the term rustic has kind of become synonymous with unfinished, poorly built. A lot of rustic projects are billed as beginner projects, because if they don't come out, perfect or looking good, then it's excusable. You know what I mean? It's rustic. It's supposed to be like that, and that's kind of not how I use the term rustic. The term rustic kind of refers to the whole farmhouse deal, and the farmhouse deal is about using what you've got. Reclaimed wood is a big thing in the whole farmhouse genre, right? Stuff that other people would throw away, things that you find new life and new purpose for. And so, building with things like old fence pickets, that kind of fits the rustic theme, because it's all about reusing something, giving new life to something. But this pecan, hickory, woods like that have that natural, real dark, kind of splotchy appearance, those fit the whole rustic theme also. So this wood that's got wormholes in it, it really kind of fits the whole rustic idea. But this I don't know, man, slapping together some stuff, and not really putting any effort into it to finish it or make it look good, and then call it rustic to excuse the, I don't know, laziness, I guess, of the build. I don't know if even laziness is really the right term. But to me, it's wrong. That's where we're at so far. We're almost done with it. We're almost done with this part of it. When we're done with it, you won't even be able to tell that the nail holes are there. I don't like using brad nails in my projects. And there's a lot of reasons for that. One of the reasons is because even though you can go back later and you can fill in, with glue and sawdust and sanding and all that, you can fill in the spots where the brad nails are. You can always see them. They're always there. And if you don't cover them, well, they're blatantly right there in your face. And I don't like that. I don't really like using exposed screws. I'm not against using screws. I use screws quite a bit. I'm not a fan of using exposed screws, right? I use pocket hole screws. I am a fan of pocket holes, and I use pocket hole screws a lot. But I'm not a fan of the stuff being exposed, right? So I'll use brad nails for something like this, even though I'm not putting a lot of glue on it. It's enough to hold this. This isn't going to be under any kind of pressure. It's not going to be, beat around and you know, it doesn't have to sustain weight, right? So the glue's enough to hold it, but the glue's not enough to hold it until it dries. And brad nails just expedite the matter. Expedite the matter. That's the word I was meaning to use. So the brad nails kind of expedite it and hold it in place until the glue can do its job. And when you cannot see the brad nails in the finished product, I'm okay with using them. When you can see the brad nails in the finished product, I'm not so much okay with it. All right, and that is it for this. What we're going to do next, and we're not going to do it tonight. This is it. This is it for tonight. We will come back a little bit later. But the next step that we're going to do is we're going to build the base for it. And so we're going to build the base in two parts. First, we're going to build a base that insets inside of here. And so essentially what we're going to do is we're going to use a 3/4 stock and we're going to cut a triangle. Okay? That triangle is going to set right inside of here. And then we're going to flush cut the triangle off right in here. Right? So the triangle sets right inside this base. Okay? The second part of that is we're going to put a second piece underneath that. And that second piece will be further out, right? It'll be further out. It could be a square. It could be a, you know, this isn't an octagon. You know, I don't even know what you call a part with only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. Fuck, I don't know. You know what I mean? But hey, you know, it is what it is. We're going to put the base inside. Inside that base, we're going to put our lamp attachment. We'll run the cord underneath that, and then the cord will come out the bottom piece. This will set on the table with the cord coming out the back. The light will be right inside, and then we're going to cut a piece to fit into this top part right here, or we may leave it open. We'll just have to see. We'll sand the edges. We'll get the edges sanded all the way down, and we'll slap a finish on it. We're not going to stain it. We're not going to, you know, nothing. It's going to be just that nice, natural pecan wood color. I may use a cedar base on the bottom of it. I haven't decided yet, but I do like the contrast of the cedar, so it's a high possibility that I might. Anyway, we'll catch you guys next time, all right? And it'll probably be tomorrow before we do the next step. Man, I'll tell you what, sometimes I am an idiot. I set this up so that I could record. I forgot to record. I forgot to start this whole thing. So let's back up real quick. We'll try to catch up. What I did was I cut this off of a slab of red cedar, okay? It's still on the miter saw. And then what we did is we laid this out. We laid this out so that this bottom edge right here, this bottom edge was flush with this edge. And then we traced out the inside of this edge and this edge on here. This should give us a triangle with 3 90-degree angles because these are cut at 30 degrees, right? I'm sorry. This should give us a 150-degree angle, right? 30 minus 180 is 150. Anyway, we're going to be cutting this on a 30-degree. Hey, I'm not any good with math, right? I'm not any good with math. I know these are 30-degree angles. All right, let's come over here to the miter saw. I should be able to set this up to 30 degrees, and we should be good to go. Let's get this out of the way. Let's get this out of the way here. Just set it off to the side. Let's set this to 30 degrees. Go ahead and tighten that down. gonna move it the other direction when I do the other 30 degree on the other side, because I only have my marks on one side. Well, actually, I don't need to do that. Yeah, no, I'm gonna do that. All right, so this is 30 degrees. All right, set that off to the side. And then what we're going to do is we're going to move this to the other side, 30 degrees. If we did that right, this should fit right inside there fairly snug. We may have to make an adjustment here or there, but it should fit in there fairly snug. It's not as snug as I'd like. And you know what? It's just a hair off right here. I'm gonna do it again. I'll save that piece and I'll use it for another one. I'll use it for another one down the road, but I want it a little bit more snug than that. We've got about, maybe not quite, maybe 3/16, maybe 3/16 of a space in there. And I just don't want 3/16 of a space. So what we're gonna do is see here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna come down like so, flush, so I only have to make one cut, and we're just gonna eyeball this, and we're gonna say, we're gonna eyeball this and try to get 3/16. I ain't eyeballing nothing if I can't find a pin. Man, Lord of mercy, I just had the freaking pin. I just used the damn thing. Ah, my apologies. See, this is why this stuff takes so long. It's not because it's difficult to build, it's because I'm an idiot. Let me go ahead and get another straight edge here. I was just a little bit off. You know, and I could have made it work, you know. Being a little bit off like that, it could have worked. It wasn't far enough off to create a problem. And we're just eyeballing this. If we need to make an adjustment, we can come back and make an adjustment as long as it's not too small like this one. I could have made that work, but why? You know, when you can just cut another one. And I ain't gonna lose that. I'll use it on the next one I build. All right, let me bump this around this way. Not bad I didn't bring y'all with me. I'm sorry. Chill out just 1 second. Oh man, this, oh, hell, I'm not on 30 degrees. I almost really screwed up. There we go. All right. I cut it a little proud of the line. I can still see the whole line in there. So hopefully it won't be too small again. Ooh, look at that. That is a perfect fit. Look at that. See, there's our base. Now I have a choice. The choice is I can either cut this flush right here, or I can leave it sitting out just like it is. And man, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like that sticking out just like that. So I think I'm gonna leave it. I don't think, yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it. All right, now what I need to do is I need to find the center of this. So what I'm gonna do is come down in here. We're gonna make a mark right there. We're gonna make a mark right here. And make a mark right here. And we're gonna make a mark right here. Make a mark right here. Make a mark right here. So what we did is we made a mark at each corner of this, and to find our center, we are going to simply connect those lines, right? And hopefully this works, because I'm already getting confused. Oh shit. All right. So let's go here. Let's go here. And let's go here. And this right here should be pretty close to the center, if it's not exact. Man, can't get it back in there now. Does it only fit in there one way? It sure fit in there a second ago. Lord of mercy. It'll all be. It don't fit now. Lord of mercy. What is going on? It fit like a glove last time I put it in there, and now I can't get it to go in. That is absolutely amazing. And I am completely baffled. Y'all saw it go in, I showed it to you. Alright, it must only go in one way. Or maybe that's the problem. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna make a mark here, and a mark here, and we're gonna make a mark here, and a mark here, and we're gonna make a mark here, and a mark here. And none of these marks are gonna stay, but at least I won't have to go through that again. All right. All right. So the next step, what we're doing is we're building a lamp, and we are building a lamp with miniature lights, right? They're what are called E12 lights. Now the E in the E12 stands for Edison. Edison bulbs are all bulbs that screw in, okay? Edison bulbs tend to take two different paths, right? One are the standard bulbs that you see now, and then there's the vintage Edison bulbs. And the vintage Edison bulbs are the real, I don't know, they're kind of the cool bulbs with the elements in it. You know, I'd have to show you a picture, man. But anyway, an Edison bulb is a bulb that is a bulb that just screws in. And the 12 in the E12 is the number of millimeters that the base is. So it's a 12 millimeter base, okay? So an E26 is your standard medium bulb, your standard medium lamp. E26 is an Edison lamp that screws into the base, 26 millimeters across. So the base for this is half the size of what you would normally be used to, okay? And so what we're going to do now is we're going to install the base. Or actually what we're going to do right now is we're going to mark where we're going to install the base. And we're going to line up these two screws right here. And what we kind of need to do here is just run us a line right up through here, right up through the center, just like so. And the reason we want to do that is because we have this cross line going across, and we want to line up there's 4 holes or 4 marks of reference on this fixture. All right, one is these 2 where the screws go, and one are these 2 where the wires go. And so what we want to do is we want to keep the wires to the side, but we want to line them up with that cross line. And then we want to line the screw holes up with the one that goes through the middle from the point down to the end. And we just want to make a mark with our punch. I don't have one of them fancy ones that shoots down in there, so I just need to make a mark here. And that should work. All right. Now what we need is we need a hole. We need to drill a hole through, but we don't want to go all the way through. So we're going to drill a hole through, and this is the hole that the wire is going to come out of. And what we're going to do is we're going to drill it on this back side of the base, and we're going to drill about halfway through. And this is what we're going to bring our wire through. And we're not going to screw this down just yet. Going to need a bigger drill bit than that. Let's see here. I got the wires in there. Let me take a look real quick at the size wire that I need. Yeah, see, it doesn't need to be that big. I just need to be able to get that wire through there. So let's go with, let's do this bit here. This bit should be more than enough. Yeah, that bit should be more than enough. And what we're going to do is we're just going to drill, you know, drill, baby, drill. And we're not even paying attention to that tape right there. That tape is for something else. But what we're going to do is we're going to drill. And we're just eyeballing it. I mean, you could measure it and go, you know, exactly halfway through this piece of wood, but I'm not going to do that. That ought to be enough. And then right at about the center, and if we need to go further, we can go further. Right at about the center, we're going to drill another hole. And that's going to go right, oh man, that ain't going to work like that. I almost screwed the pooch. All right, what I need, set this back down in here. And what I need to do is through the center of this piece. And I got to be careful with this pecan, because this pecan, if you recall, wasn't in the best condition, right? So we're going to take it easy with the pecan, We're going to be a little careful with it, but we're still going to drill. All right, I think that'll work. Okay, I should be into the cedar now. Let's go ahead and take this off of there. Yep, we are well into the cedar. And what we want to do is we want to meet those two holes. Just like that. Now from there, we can go up. All right. This gets a little bit difficult because I have to get this through this hole, which has got to go through this hole, and I've got to come up. We've got to get this connected, and then we've got to come back down, and we've got to screw it. And this is going to be a little bit delicate, but we're going to get it done. So what I'm going to do, this may take me a minute, so I'll tell you what, because I am trying to keep my videos short, or shorter, and I think this one's going to get up there. We're going to pause the video while I do this, and we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, again, I apologize for the noise. I've got to eventually, somewhere down the road, do something about that refrigerator because it is causing quite a bit of noise. I've got this out. We got this wired up. It's just one wire to one screw, the other wire to the other, and it's a simple thing to wire up. And now we're going to try to get this in here. This is the part I'm a little bit concerned about because I am not positive I'm going to be able to get this back into this with this wire in here, but we're going to do the best we can, and we're going to try it out. All right, we're going to see what we can do here. I'm using 2 little screws that these are M4 screws. If you want to try to find them at Home Depot or Lowe's, and what we're going to do is we're just going to try to get the point into our mark right here, and we're going to, because this is cedar, we don't want to put a lot of pressure on it, but we do want to try to get it screwed in. And I've got a little bitty screwdriver for working with these little M4 screws. And like everything else, I tend to lose it. It's around here somewhere that I honestly don't know where. And this is becoming a little bit of a pain because these are little bitty screw heads on here that are really difficult, and it requires a #1 screwdriver bit. Ah, man, oh man, oh man. Give me 1 second. Be right back. Alright, so we're back, and no, I did not find my screwdriver. It's around here somewhere. I'll find it. But what I did do was I swapped out for a screw with a bit of a larger head, and it still fits in here pretty good, so shouldn't give me too many problems. I should still have enough meat on the screw to bolt this down without too many problems, and I should be able to use this screwdriver to do it. So let's get this one here started. could use a screw gun to do this, but I don't want to put any more pressure than I need to. This base is plastic, so we don't want to break it. It's in there firmly. All right, this is where the problem comes in, and it's putting it back together. And so I need to put glue on it when I put it back together, and that means it's subject to get a little messy. But y'all bear with me, and we're almost done. Unfortunately, I can't do the reveal tonight because I don't have any light bulbs. I'm getting them tomorrow. I'm gonna pick them up tomorrow. I don't have any right now, and so what we're gonna do is we're just putting glue on all of the points that are gonna make contact here, and then we're gonna hope we can get this back in there with this cord. This is the part, ooh, look at that. It may be slipping right up in there. Hold on. There we go, come on, get that one in. I can get one side in, but I can't, there we go. Get it in there. Let's press it down. We have a little bit of squeeze out inside, and you do not want to leave any glue squeeze out on cedar. I'm telling you, it is a mess, and it turns a real chalky white color. Ah, come on, I can't get up in there. See, next time I'm gonna make this thing, well, I can't say that because I've already cut enough to do 4 more. The next time that I cut these and get ready to do these, I'm gonna do it big enough so I can get my damn hand in here. All right, let's get, all right, so for this we're going to use a screwdriver. We're going to use the paper towel. We're going to quit fighting it. Get the paper towel up there right on the edge with the screwdriver. There we go, just clean it out. Catch all these edges. Anywhere where you see that glue, you definitely want to get it before it dries. Right, there we have it. All that we have left to do now is let that glue dry, sand it all down, and throw some finish on it. And as much as I've tried to speed this video up and bypass the long points, I just, don't ever seem to succeed at that. And there you have it. That's your lamp. It's got we got a cord with an on and off switch on it. Can't really reveal it right now because I don't have the proper lamp to put in there. I don't have the proper bulb to put in there, but that's it. That's what it's going to look like right there. Red cedar base. We'll sand that. We'll sand down these edges, and that's our lamp. So we'll come back and do one final video when this is after we get the finish on it, and we get a bulb for it, and we'll let you see what it looks like. Thank you all for watching.